Of course, I agree that the pandemic disrupted very significantly our economies and our societies, and for the private sector, it was a great opportunity to accelerate some of the strategic people plans that we already had in place, right? You mentioned everything started in January 2020. That was the last wave before the pandemic.
Yes.
And even when we were smelling that the whole thing was going to happen and that the world was going to be in turmoil, the pandemic, let's face it, caught us off guard, right? And there is an early phase in which we have to engage our workforce in a completely different way to be able to accelerate the digital transformation of the company, to make sure that people could follow and that we could ensure business continuity, mainly on the supply chain and production, through getting people, effective, operating in a different way.
Give us a sense of what you did at Merck. How did you, accelerate your reskilling?
Well, we were already, we have been a company using hybrid work and remote work for many, many years. In 2013, we already changed the policy and allowed our people mainly to make sure that we could integrate certain vulnerable populations like female and other populations into the workforce and help them develop and grow. We already had tons of flexibility. But of course, nobody felt the need to use those technologies that were, at hand to them until we have to stop working in the office from one day to the other.
Yeah, and I think that's probably the truth for every company, that even if you had the capacity, you weren't using it. But did you change did your view of the skills your workforce needed change? Did it impact the kind of the reskilling that we're talking about?
Absolutely. First of all, the kind of leaders that we needed to have leading the company was absolutely different. So we did a lot of leadership development during those days. The connectivity, the digital connectivity was something new to the whole organization. Half of our workforce, mainly people in the factories and in the labs, didn't have a computer at home, right? So we have to very quickly equip those people to catch up in the hybrid work. Of course, we started to worry about cybersecurity, right? And most importantly, we automated, or we aim to automate many of our processes, mainly on manufacturing, to be able to be more effective and efficient, right? So it was a cultural transformation first, right? And we did a lot on culture, right? To make sure that we put people at the center, and most importantly, that while dealing with the acute phase, we prepare for the future through
the next phase,
reshaping our strategic workforce planning approach.